Hello and welcome to this edition of Labrador Lodge Project. Today we are upstairs in the master bedroom where we'll be taking a look at the damage inside to the ceiling caused by a leak in the roof. Then we'll be heading on up into the attic to look and find where this leak is and then figure out what we can do to fix it. In the meantime, we may have to do a temporary fix before we do something more permanent, but we have to stop that water from coming in. It's finally not raining, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to show you the damage of the ceiling here in the bedroom. Okay, what you're looking at right now is the damage to the ceiling. As you can see, we've got the wallpaper came down, then the plaster covering came down, then the brown coat came down, and we actually have some damage to the lath underneath. This is a major problem. We'll go ahead and take a closer look, and you can see the rot and the insulation from up above coming through, that wet insulation being heavy and a little bit of rot. It broke through those fragile laths that the plaster attaches to. They're not really designed to support weight individually, but only as a group. And so right now, we have a major problem. So what we're going to do is go ahead and head up into the attic and see just what we can do. Now it may not be raining, but it is hot as blazes, and it's only going to be hotter up in the attic. So pardon me if I sweat a little bit. Now we'll be climbing up into the attic on this fancy ladder that I bought. This is one of those ladders that adjusts, it turns itself into a stairway ladder or a ladder up the side of your house, or in this case a step ladder, or it can become the base to scaffolding. I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of different ladders, and when you have to get one ladder that's not tall enough, you grab a different ladder, you need another ladder to do something else. It is nice to have one ladder that pretty much does everything you need. And I'm saving a lot of money, now that I think on it, buying this more expensive ladder than all the individual ladders that I've had to use in the past. When one of those breaks, you have to buy another one. This one, it does everything and it's pretty sturdy. It'll hold up to 300 pounds, and that's about double what I weigh, so I can carry a pretty good amount of stuff up and down on a ladder like this. The other thing we're going to be using is my good old handy-dandy spelunking light. So let's go ahead, look up in the attic, and see what we've got. Pop the light off, just so you see it's good and dark. Pop the light back on. And we can see there's the chimney going up. See down along? Some insulation. Wow, boy, we see some bright light there, don't we? Let me turn off my headlamp. Yeah, how about that? Well, we found our problem with the roof. It looks like the shingles around the vent pipe and its little protective covering that's supposed to prevent water from getting in, it is totally shot. The light is coming in, as you can see. That's a huge, huge, huge hole. It's all the way around the pipe. It's all of that. That's not something we're going to seal with just a little bit of roofing tar. We're going to have to do something more substantial. But right now, with only the supplies in hand, we have to work on something that's going to fix that temporarily, just to stop the water from pouring in before the next storm comes. Now we're fortunate. This old house has, right here as you can see, this is a double latched opening hatch onto the roof. We're fortunate to have this. Not many houses have a hatchway up onto the roof. This is going to give us much easier access than trying to climb up on the outside of the house. If we don't need to, we can get outside. It's on the wrong side for our hole, but it's near the peak. We can climb over, take a look, and see what we can do. Well, as you can see, we are up and out on the roof. This is where we come out on this. We can take a look at the roof. It's actually in pretty good shape, except for the moss that's growing on it, but you know, that comes off fairly easily. That can be a project for another day. We do have some potential leakage over here at the chimney that we can address. It might be right there by that flashing where the coating is. It could be getting in along there. Those sort of things do happen. along chimney areas. But what we have to get to is on the other side of the roof, and that means climbing up and then looking over the other side. Okay, what we can see here, now that we're up on the roof and we're looking over on the right side, is that the shingles and the little covering thing that's supposed to cover this vent and keep the water out is completely and utterly missing. I don't know where it is, I don't know where it got to, I don't know what happened to it, but that's what we're missing. Right now, I'm going to run down, maybe get some trash bags, and build a temporary covering for this. But now I know what I need to buy. I need to go out, I need to buy that special covering piece that goes in here. We're supposed to go underneath the shingle, supposed to go around it, and then supposed to be sealed. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it was ever there. But we'll take care of it, fix it, and we'll be in good shape. But right now it's time for a temporary fix with some trash bags. Maybe not the best thing in the world, but it'll get us through the next few storms. I'll tell you what, the Olympics are on TV right now, and what I'm doing climbing out of this little hole is worth at least a bronze medal. I mean, look at this little hole. What do I need to do to get out of this hole? I need to go up, get my hands on either side, hoist myself up while tucking my legs into a ball, and then jutting them out in front of me like I'm doing some sort of parallel bars routine. This is not something that you want to have done if you are not in good shape. And I am not in the best of shape, but thankfully I'm in good enough shape to haul my little butt out through that hole and get up on that roof. Whew. It is not easy, and there's no ladder that's going to fit that little hole. So, I don't have trash bags. I mean, I have some, but I ended up finding this piece of packing plastic. It was in my pile of construction rubbish. It had been protecting the ladder when I bought it, and so I cut off a big piece. It's a little bit thicker, will last a little bit longer. Don't know exactly how I'm going to manage to make it stay up there and keep the rain out, but anything I do has got to be better than the great big gaping hole we've got now. Well, here we go, back up and out the hole. This is going to be a parallel bars routine. Let's see if I get a medal. So we've got our plastic. Let's go ahead and fix it as best as we can until we get the right parts. Okay, I admit it, this is a pretty piss-poor repair job, even for a temporary one. What I did was I made a small opening in the plastic that was very tight, just barely stretched it around this tube so it would be a nice fit around there. I tucked the upper part underneath the uppermost shingles and folded it over so there wouldn't be any direct water running right along back up into the shingle area. I tucked the bottom in a tuck-under fold underneath the shingles so again the water would run off, and if it did curl back it would hit some more plastic and then go back out again. I tore off some excess. I could have cut off a little more, but I think it's good enough for now. And so we're going to go ahead and get back off this roof before I get stung by whatever that is that's flying around up here that looks like one really nasty wasp.